Today, on Why Do We Need to Know This?, we'll learn what a remainder is in a division problem. We'll also learn how to interpret the remainder in a division problem. And we'll discover that understanding a remainder can help us plan a field trip, display trophies, and give treats to our dogs.
Why do we need to know this?
Why?
Why? Add and subtract, multiply and divide. We use math in everyday life. Why do we need to know this?
You know this.
Can't wait to see what we're gonna learn today.
I know.
Hey, Adesina, how's it going?
Marcos, April. Perfect timing. I hope you like Sour Pals candies.
Ooh, I love Sour Pals.
Me too. They hurt my mouth, but like in a good way.
Great. Do you want to share these 11 pieces with me?
Sure do. To be fair, we should share them all equally.
Okay. Well, let's give 3 pieces to each of us.
Wait, but now there's 2 left. How do we split up the 11 candies equally between the 3 of us?
Unfortunately, we can't. It looks like we have a remainder.
What's a remainder?
A remainder is the amount left over after we divide something into equal groups.
Well, what are we supposed to do with the remainder?
And why do we need to know this?
I'm glad you asked. Understanding a remainder can help us plan a field trip, display trophies, and give treats to our dogs. Let's explore. First, let's briefly review what we already know about division.
Oh, division is splitting something up into equal groups.
Right. For example, if we have 12 gumballs, we can split them up equally between the 3 of us. That process is called division. Here is 1 for each of us, 2 for each of us, 3 for each of us, and 4 for each of us.
And we can show this as 12 divided by 3 equals 4.
Perfect. If you've never done division before, check out our other video called Intro to Division. In today's lesson, we'll learn about basic division with remainders and how to interpret remainders. Let's say one of these gumballs gets eaten.
Now we have 11.
Right. Let's try to split these up into 3 equal groups.
Okay, here's 1 for each of us, 2 for each of us, 3 for each of us.
And that's it. We can't put another gumball into each group because we need 3 to do that. And we only have 2.
Very good. That amount is called a remainder. A remainder is the amount left over after we divide something into equal groups.
So what's the answer to 11 divided by 3?
11 divided by 3 is equal to 3, with a remainder of 2. We put a little R for remainder next to the answer, and the number of remaining items next to it.
Oh, so it's part of our answer.
Exactly.
Do some division problems have remainders and others do not?
Correct. For example, 6 cookies divided into 3 groups gives you 2 cookies per group. Since there's nothing left over, there is no remainder. But if you try to divide 7 cookies into 3 equal groups, you would have 1 left over. That's the remainder. So we say 7 divided by 3 is equal to 2 with a remainder of 1. Now, let's explore some real-life examples of problems that have remainders and what we should do with those remainders. Marcos and April went apple picking and picked 26 apples. Now they're going to make apple care packages to give to their friends.
If we want to put our apples in packs of 4, how many packs of 4 can we make?
So if you have 26 and you want to make groups of 4, we can solve 26 divided by 4.
Let's first solve it by making a visual model. These dots will represent the 26 apples we have, and we will put them into groups of 4.
Here is one group of 4, and another group makes 8, and another group makes 12, then 16, then 20, then 24.
Now we have 6 equal groups of 4 apples. But we can't make any more groups of 4 apples because we only have 2 left.
So the answer to 26 divided by 4 is 6 with a remainder of 2.
That's right. Now, let's think about what the remainder means in this scenario.
Well, we just wanted to know how many packs of 4 apples we could make.
It looks like we can only make 6 packs of 4 apples.
Exactly. In this scenario, since we just needed to know how many whole packs we could make, we can ignore the remainder.
So if we don't need the remainder, then I guess we can just eat it, since we don't need it for the 4 packs.
Can we always just ignore the remainder?
Oh, definitely not. It depends on the situation. Let's look at one example where you definitely don't want to ignore the remainder. Pretty good?
Really good.
Let's take a look at how remainders can help us figure out how many buses we need for a field trip.
Nice. We love field trips.
Yeah, where are we going?
Your whole grade is going to the Air and Space Museum.
Yes!
They have all kinds of amazing things there, from airplanes to rockets to items from the International Space Station.
That's so cool. I'm excited.
Awesome. Then help me plan the trip. There are 120 students going, and we need buses for transportation. If each bus can hold 50 students, how many buses do we need to take?
So we need to divide 120 students into groups of 50 students, which is the amount that fits on a bus.
We can show that as 120 divided by 50.
If 50 students get on the first bus, and then another 50 students get on a second bus, we have 20 students left over. That's the remainder. So 120 divided by 50 is 2, remainder 20.
Good work. But now let's interpret the remainder. In other words, let's think about what this really means in this situation.
Well, if we just ordered 2 buses, the 20 leftover students wouldn't be able to go.
So that means we should round our answer up to 3 buses to make sure everyone fits.
Excellent. Now you can see how understanding a remainder is important. If we just ignored it in this scenario, we'd end up with a lot of students not getting to go to the Air and Space Museum. Let's take a look at how remainders can help us display April's trophies.
I play a lot of tennis, and I've won a few championships.
You can say that again. You have like a gazillion trophies.
44, but who's counting? I want to display them on these shelves. I know each shelf can fit 8 trophies. Will I have any that won't fit?
So since you have 44 and want to split them up into groups of 8, we can solve 44 divided by 8.
Let's solve it using our knowledge of multiplication. I know that 8 times 6 is 48, but I don't have that many trophies. I only have 44.
Let's try 8 times 5, which is 40. Since you have 44, that means there will be 4 left over. So 44 divided by 8 is 5, with a remainder of 4.
That means I can fill 5 shelves with trophies and have 4 left that won't fit.
Right, but let's remember what problem we were trying to solve.
Well, I wanted to know if there would be any trophies left over.
Ah, so the answer to that question is that you will have 4 left over.
Exactly. In some scenarios, like this one, we just want to know how much is left over. That's the remainder. Let's see how they look.
What are you gonna do with the 4 leftover trophies?
I'm actually playing in 4 tournaments this month, so I just need to win 4 more to have no remainder.
I guess you'll need another set of shelves for all those new trophies.
Can I have one?
Let's see how division with remainders can help us give treats to our dogs.
There are 30 dog treats here, and 4 dogs. If we give an equal amount of treats to each dog, how many treats will each dog get?
Since we are splitting 30 treats between 4 dogs, we need to solve 30 divided by 4.
That's right.
Let's solve it using our knowledge of multiplication.
To turn this division problem into a multiplication problem, we can solve 4 times what number equals 30?
Oh, I know that 4 times 8 is 32, but we only have 30 treats, so that won't work.
Let's try 4 times 7, which is 28. That means there will be 2 left over.
So 30 divided by 4 is 7, with the remainder of 2.
That means we can give each dog 7 treats, and there will still be 2 left over.
Very good. And what can we do with these leftovers?
We could give some to the other dogs.
Save it for later?
Or we could eat it ourselves.
Maybe not this time. In some scenarios, a remainder can be shared. Can you think of a way to share 2 treats between 4 dogs?
What if we break them in halves? Then give half to each one of them.
That's genius.
It is a great idea, but remember, this doesn't make sense every time.
So what you do with the remainder just depends on the situation.
Right. Sometimes we can ignore it, like when we counted 4 packs of apples. Sometimes we round up, like when we needed buses for a field trip. Other times, we just want to know the remainder, like when putting trophies on the shelves. And other times, we can share the remainder, like with these dogs.
I guess we just have to think about the problem and see what makes sense in that scenario.
You got it. This is why interpreting remainders is really important. Now, let's review.
Today, we learned what a remainder is in a division problem.
How to interpret the remainder in a division problem.
And we learned that a remainder helped us plan a field trip, display trophies, and give treats to our dogs.
And now you know why you need to know this. I'm Edicina.
I'm April.
I'm Marcos.
And until next time, remember,
Always question, always wonder.